Thank you very much, and thank you for having me here today. It is our pleasure to be together with you, and special thanks to our colleagues from the Bulgarian Development Bank for organizing this beautiful event. It is sixth mini conference in this region, because our plan was to deliver the 12 mini conferences across the region, and unfortunately the COVID crisis has broken our plan, but we come back, and I really appreciate that you decided just before the 3SII summit, which will take place in Bulgaria in July. There is a huge opportunity to share with our audience how to spread the knowledge, awareness, and information about the 3SII's initiative and the 3SII's fund. But as every big venture starts with the one single small step. And the first step was done by our heads of states during the summit in the United Nations in US. And the first summit took place in Dubrovnik in 2016. What is the aim of the 3SII's initiative on the presidential and the highest political level? How to boost the cooperation, collaboration between our countries and have the same voice about our needs as new members of the European Union. How we can loudly speak about our needs in terms of infrastructure and the gaps that we have in this infrastructure. What is our one goal? To boost economy, to boost quality of life of our society in this region. And how to open our big three gates through the investment infrastructure as a Adriatic Sea, Black Sea, and the Baltic Sea. It is a huge opportunity, and it is only possible if we join our power. And the list of this summit that you can see on the slide, it is a huge example that we are follow, and we want to cooperate to deliver the one goal. We want to have the better life, we want to live in the better quality of infrastructure, and we want to improve the quality of life of our society. Based on this huge and unique venture, we as a development institution start to think how to support this brilliant initiatives as a 3SII's initiatives on the political level, because the 3SII's region has a huge economic potential. The turnover of our countries is over 225 billion euro. The total GDP in the European Union, it is 20% of the total European Union GDP. And every GDP growth, it is highest not only in the region, but almost in the entire world. And the population it is 111 million, so it means that it is 25% of the total population of European Union. And the territory it is 30% of the total European Union. It looks brilliant. What is the next step? The infrastructure investment that we need in this region. It is 600 billion that we need to spend only to 2030 to fill in the gaps that we have in this region, in the quality which will be comparable what already exists in the western part of Europe. It doesn't mean that every country in the western part stop and waiting for us how we improve our infrastructure. It is impossible. Western country will be developing as well. So we have to catch up, we have to speed up, and we have to encourage through this potential the private investors, the international investors, to show them how important this region is, how has the big economic potential and the very well educated population, and we are unique on the scene of the European Union. And this is the three dimensions that we have to bring to cooperation, the financial institution and the lowest level. We need to encourage our governments to have the smooth cooperation, to thinking about the infrastructure project, and is supported by the highest political level by our presidents. So how this 600 billion looks like? The most important, the most important needs. Infrastructure investment needs until 2030. In logistics and transport, it is almost 300 billion euro that we need to spend for roads, railways, inland and maritime transport, airports, almost 100 for the energy sector, and twice as much for the ICT and digital infrastructure. Digital infrastructure is hugely important, together with the energy sector. How we build the security in our region, how we build the security for each country. So it is hugely important how we show the opportunities for the private investors, and how we can encourage and combine the structure of finance this project through the public EU funds, especially with the new budget of the European Union, plus some specific private investment through the 3SIIs fund and the others. It is also big challenge, not only for financial institutions, but also I would like to encourage all our Minister of Finance, Minister of Infrastructure, how to build the awareness about our needs, understand of the European financial institutions. So I would like to encourage the EIB and EBRD to be part and support this initiative, because we are part of the European Union. We are not support, this is not competition. We want to build a stronger European Union, and only through this cooperation and understanding the needs in this region, it is possible. But we are united as 27 countries in the European Union. It is hugely important. And these figures which are showing on the slide, it is confirmed by two other reports, and the IMF reports and the Polish Economic Institute, that these figures are huge, but it's real. And we have to find a way how to fill in the gaps in this infrastructure by combining the cooperation and the structure of finance. Maybe only in the nutshell, the IMF report clearly shows that the key priority in this central eastern part of Europe, it is investment in infrastructure. The closing these gaps in infrastructure until 2030 would require the 3 to 8% of GDP, annually GDP. The public investment can help repair after the pandemic, and how we can recover our economy after this crisis. And this is only one way how we collaborate and how we can join the money through fund, the public money and the EU funds. Recovery plan, it is something that we can use for the future. And of course, if we spend this money in the most effective way, it has the influence on our GDP in the future. In the short term, it is 0.5 to 0.75%. In the long run, it is even 2 or 2.5% growth of GDP in our country. So if the private investor asks us, how you want to finance? By our growth of economy in the future. And this is the reason that this is opportunity, not only for our countries, but also for the others. And this more details about how we created the fund and what is the story, I pass the voice to my colleague Paweł.